Good day everyone, I'm Orville Rigor, your teacher in mathematics. So for today's lesson, we will talk about Pythagorean theorem, but we will solve the given problem using the questions, thoughts, important information, plans, solution, or the Q-tips problem solving strategy. So let's start. The question will be, a 35-foot ladder is leaning against the side of the building and is positioned such that base of the ladder is 21 feet from the base of the building. So, how far above the ground is the point where the ladder touches the building? So, the first thing that we need to do is to know the question. So, let's identify first what is being asked in this given problem. So, obviously, the question here is that how far above the ground is the point where the ladder touches the building? And that's the first step of the Q-tips problem solving strategy. So now, let's proceed to the next step, which is the thoughts. So, how can we solve this problem? And what are we going to do? Should we add, subtract, multiply, divide, or draw a picture and representation to solve this problem? So, in this case, we should draw a picture to represent the ladder, building, and the base. And that's a thought on how can we solve this problem. Now, let's move on to the important information. So in this part, we need to identify the important given here in this given problem. So obviously, the most important information here is the 35-foot ladder, which is the length of the ladder, and the 21 feet, which is the base of the ladder from the base of the building. Now, let's proceed to the fourth step of this strategy, which is the plans. So since we already know what is the question being asked in this problem, and we know what are we going to do to solve it, and also we've written down the important information needed to solve this given problem. So what is the plan that we must apply in order to solve this problem? So since we have a right triangle here, we need to use the Pythagorean theorem formula a squared is plus b squared is equal to c squared to solve this problem. Now, let's move on to the final step of this strategy, which is the solution. So in this part of strategy, we need to solve the entire problem. So since we already have all the information and plans needed to solve this problem, so let's apply it. So the given here is A is equal to 21, B is missing, and C is equal to 35. So applying the given to the formula, so we have now A squared, which is 21 squared, plus B squared is equal to C squared, which is 35 squared. So 21 squared is 441, plus B squared is equal to 35 squared, which is 1225. So transposing 441 to the left, so we have now B squared is equal to 1225 minus 441. So B squared is equal to 1225 minus 441 is equal to 784. So in order for us to eliminate the exponent here in B, we need to square both sides. So we have now square root of b squared is equal to the square root of 784. So square root of b squared is b is equal to the square root of 724 is 28. So meaning 28 feet is the answer to the question, how far above the ground as the point where the ladder touches the building. So that would be all for today. Thank you for watching. Keep safe everyone, and God bless you all.
Good day everyone, this is Brian Kunanam from BSE 3B Mathematics. In this video, I will be teaching you how to use Q-tips to solve real-life problems. Before that, let's give first the meaning of Q-tips. Q stands for question, T stands for thoughts, I stands for important information, P stands for plan, and S stands for solution. So here's the real-life problems that we are going to solve. The Red Cross raises money in many different ways. 2/3 of this raised through their website, 1/5 is raised from in person, and 1/6 from telephones. How many times more money is raised through their website than in person? The first thing we need to do is Q, or the question. We need to identify the question or underline it. The question that is being asked is how many times more money is raised through their website than in person. If we easily find the question, try to analyze it. If you can understand the question, proceed to T, which is thought. If not, try to translate the question into the language that you can understand. Because the question here is so easy to understand, I will proceed to T, which is thought. At this stage, we need to reread the question and find out what operation we're going to use to solve this problem. The problem is the Red Cross raises money in many different ways. 2/3 of this is raised through their website, 1/5 is raised in person, and 1/6 raised by telephone. How many times is more money raised through their website than in person? And because we are looking at how many times is more money is raised from their website than in person, the operation we are going to use is division. After that, let's proceed to I, which is the important information. The important information here is the 2/3 from the website, 1/5 from in person, and how many times more the money is raised through their website and in person. And that's the important information here to solve this problem. To avoid being confused when solving word problems, always remove irrelevant information. For example, in this question, 1/6 of the money raised by the Red Cross came from telephone. Because the question asks for money raised from website and in person, we need to eliminate the money raised from telephones in order to solve this question without confusion. Because we've already found the important information, let's go to the P, or which is the plan. Our plan to solve this is use another number first that will replace 2/3 and 1/5 for us to easily solve it. After we use that strategy, we can easily solve that question. So we already have a plan. The next step is to apply the plan and solve it. And that became our S, which is the solution. So 2/3 of the money raised from website, 1/5 of the money raised from in person, and that's our given. And the question here is how many times more money is raised through their website than in person. Let's assume that $20 is the money raised from the website and $5 is raised in person. We have to divide it. So 20 divided by 5 is equal to 4. Therefore, the money is 4 times more. So because we can easily get the answer, let's go back to the real given. 2/3 divided by 1/5 is equal to 2/3 multiplied by 5/1 is equal to 10/3. And we have to simplify 10/3. 10/3 is equal to 3 and 1/3. Therefore, the money raised from the website is 3 and 1/3 times more than the amount raised in person. And that's how we apply the Q-tips to solve world problems in real-life situation. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned.
Good day, grade 9 students. I'm back and I'm BJ Benedicto from BSE 3B Mathematics, your instructor for today. And for today's discussion, we're going to talk about evaluating algebraic expression. When we say evaluating algebraic expression, it simply means that we have to simplify or reduce the expression down to a single numerical value. As you know, variables can assume multiple values. So in evaluating algebraic expression, we have to substitute the numerical values to the variable. The question is how to evaluate algebraic expression. So to evaluate an algebraic expression means to determine the value of the expression for a given value of each variable in that expression. And we have two steps that we need to follow. The first one is replace the variable by the given number value by substitution. And second is perform the indicated arithmetic by following the order of operation, and that is PEMDAS. PEMDAS means parenthesis, exponent, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. So now, let's try to solve a real-world problem. The amount that Mr. Benedicto pays to the grocery that he buy was calculated according to the formula 1,000 plus 30n. Here n is the number of junk food that he get. That time it was 8. What was the cost of his grocery? So to answer this question, I will give you a new strategy. And that strategy called Q-tips. Q-tips stand for question, thought, information, or important information, plan, and solution. Let's start with question. Here in question, we need to identify what is the question. So in our problem, the question here is, what was the cost of his grocery? Next, we have thought. Here in thoughts, you need to know what is the formula, the operation, or the process that you will be using. You need to know your exact thought about the given question. So here, what do you think or what is your thought? Very good. The operation here is the addition and multiplication. So next, we have I, and that is information or the important information. To make it clear, that is the important given number. So here in our problem, the given are 1000 plus 30n and 8. So class, if you encounter a word problem that have many numbers, you need to eliminate the unimportant number to make it easy. Is that clear? So now let's proceed to plan. So here, this is where you write down the problem as you plan to solve it. This is your strategy to answer the question. So here, substituting the given number and following the rule of PEMDAS is your plan. So last is solution. This is when you are able to give an answer to your plan that answer your original question. So here in solution, this is the time that you will get your answer to your question. So after we write the solution, we ended with 1240 as our final answer. So again, the new strategy for solving a word problem is the Q-tips. Q stands for question. You need to know what is the question that you need to answer. T stands for thought. What is your thought about the given problem? I stand for important information. You need to know the important information or the important given number. P stands for plan. This is how you solve the given problem. And last is S. It stands for solution. This is the solution to your plan. Is that clear? So that is the end of this video. I hope you learned something. And if you have any question to your mind about our discussion today, don't hesitate to comment down it below because I will respond on it. Keep safe, everyone.
Good day everyone, I'm Cyril and Pontanilla from BSE 3B Mathematics. So for this video, I will going to solve a word problem about algebra. And by solving a word problem, we're going to use the Q-tips. We can use Q-tips to solve a problem. We must analyze, evaluate, and plan before we can solve a problem. We can acquire the correct solution and easily solve the problem by following the step-by-step process to answer the problem. Q-tips means question, thoughts, important information, plan, and solution. Questions are identify the question that is being asked in the problem. Thoughts, read the entire problem and choose the best operation to help to solve the question. The operation is what you do with the numbers to get the answer. Important information. The information is the numbers needed to solve the problem. Plan for the problem. Your plan or strategy for solving the question. Solution is when you can answer your original question. I have here an example of word problem which is a father is 4 times as old as his son. 8 years ago, the father's age was 8 times that of his son. How old are they now? First, identify what we're gonna find, which is how old are they now. The given is let x represent the son's age, and therefore 4x is the father's age. 8 minus x is represent the son age, and 4x minus 8 is represent the father's age. And the solution is 8 times the quantity of x minus 8 equals to 4x minus 8. And 8 times the quantity of x minus 8 is 8x minus 64 equals 4x minus 8. And now, 8x minus 4x is equals to negative 8 plus 64. So 8x minus 4x is 4x, and negative 8 plus 64 equals to 56. So 4x equals 56 divided by both sides by 4, which is x is equal to 14. Therefore, the son is 14 years old and the father is 56 years old, which is 14 times 4. And that's all for this video. Thank you.
Good day, class. For today's lesson, it's all about Q-tips strategy, a 5 simple steps to solve a word problem. And I prepare a real word problem to see how it works. Tips is a problem-solving strategy that we commonly use in solving word problem in mathematics. We have 5 simple steps. The first one is Q, stands for question. We identify the question that is being asked in the problem. The second one is thoughts. This is the operation that we are going to use to get the answer. The third one is the important information. This is the given number stated in the problem, or sometimes it is the clues. And the fourth one is the plan. This is the strategy in solving the question. And the last one is the solution. It is the response to your strategy and to the problem's question. Now we are going to use this strategy to answer our word problem. The problem is 3 trees stand on a plain ground, each representing a triangle point. The triangle's second side is twice as long as first. The third side of the triangle is 10 meters longer than the first, given a 30 meters perimeter. Find the measure of the longest side. The first step is to identify the question in the word problem. So the question here is find the measure of the longest side. So it pertains to meters of a longest side of a triangle. Second step is the thoughts. We need to illustrate the word problem. We will draw a triangle to analyze the word problem. The triangle's second side is twice as long as the first. Let's say that the first side is x. Then the second side of a triangle is twice as long as first side. We let this as 2x. Then the third side of a triangle is 10 meters longer than the first, meaning to say we will add 10 meters to the first side. So it will become x plus 10. For the third step, the important information. As we recall the word problem, it mentions the perimeter of a triangle, which is 30 meters. And also, we need the formula of perimeter, which is the sum of all sides of a triangle, the A plus B plus C. Fourth step, the plan. For this word problem, we are going to use the formula of perimeter to solve the value of x, then find the measure of the sides of a triangle. Perimeter is equal to A plus B plus C, the 3 sides of the triangle. So given the perimeter is 30, it will become 30 is equal to x plus 2x plus x plus 10. So 2x plus x is equal to 3x plus x is equal to 4x. Then add 10. So the 10, move the 10 to the other side. Then it will become negative 10. 30 minus 10 is 20. So 20 is equal to 4x. Now, divide the 4 in the both sides. 20 divided 4 is 5, and 4x divided 4 is equal to x. Then, using this solution or answer, solve for the sides of a triangle. Since side A is just x, then it just a 5 meters. B twice the side A, meaning 2 times 5 is 10. That is the length of side B. Then for the longest side, which is the C, x plus 10. So, substitute x, it will become 5, then 5 plus 10 is 15 meters. Now for the last step, the solution. The answer for the question, find the length of the longest side, is 15 meters. Now that's how to use the Q-tips strategy to solve word problems. That's the end of this video. Thank you for watching.
Good day everyone, my name is Roxanne Melium from BSE 3B Mathematics. So for today's video, I am going to apply the Q-tips in solving problem. So first, we have question. The first and most important part of solving problem is to identify and understand the problem in order for us to solve and find the solution for it. So let's have the question or the word problem in which a painter needs to use 2.5 gallons of paint to cover a 105 square meter wall. If the amount of paint varies directly as the area of the wall, how many gallons of paint is needed to cover a 168 square meter wall? The question says that it is asked how many gallons of paint that the painter is needed to cover a 168 square meter wall if he needs to use 2.5 gallons of paint to cover a 105 square meter of wall, and if the amount of paint varies directly as the area of the wall. The next step is the thought. It is the step where we analyze the problem and choose the best option or the best operation to be used to solve the problem. The problem involves direct variation, in which P varies directly as W. After we analyze the question and give our thought on it, the next step is, it is also important part in which we need to find and list all the numbers needed to solve the problem. So first, let's have P, in which it is amount of paint and it is in gallon, in which it is P is equal to 2.5. Next is W, in which it is area of the wall in square meters, and W is equal to 105. So that are the given numbers in our problem, and take note that when looking for numbers, be sure to eliminate any unnecessary information. So after we gather all the important information, we are now proceed to planning. So in plan, we have to plan on how we will solve the word problem. So hence, we have the equation P is equal to KW, in which the concept of variation K is equal to P over W. This specifies how much paint is needed per square meter. After that, we will now proceed to the solution. So our P is 2.5 and W is equal to 105. So K is equal to P over W. So substitute the given value, 2.5 is equal to 105. And to simplify it, 1 over 42. Therefore, 1 over 42 of a gallon of paint is needed to cover a square meter of the wall. So now, P is equal to 1 over 42 W. So P is unknown. W is equal to 168. So P is equal to 1 over 42 multiplied by 168. We will get 4. So therefore, 4 gallons of paint is needed to cover a 168 square meter wall. So that's all for today's video. I hope that you understand on how the Q-tips deals on solving problem. That's all. Thank you.
Have a nice day, grade 9 students. My name is J. Marie Ardeleon, and today I will share with all of you the strategy in problem solving. It calls mathematics Q tips, which Q, T, I, P, and S are initial letters of words. I have here an example of a word problem for your better understanding. The perimeter of a rectangular frame is 30 inches. If the length is 5 less than thrice the width, what are the length and width? The first is Q, stands for the question. You need to identify the question in the problem. In our example, the question that you have to answer is, what is the length and width? Next, T means thoughts. Think about the operations you can use later. Read and analyze the problem. The word less than means subtraction, and 5 is the subtrahend, while thrice is 3 times. So you will use multiplication later. If there's a picture that you can draw, do it. And the problem, it says the object is a rectangular frame. Draw it, and better if you write the measures given. I is the important information. What are those numbers that are necessary for solving the problem? The perimeter of a rectangular is 30 inches, and the length is 5 less than thrice the width. Then P stands for the plan. How will you get the answer to the problem? There's a perimeter in the given, and the shape is rectangle, so we can use the formula of rectangle's perimeter, which is P, or perimeter equals the sum of 2 times width and twice of length. The other given, the length is 5 less than thrice the width, or 3 times width minus 5. Last, S is the solution. Let x is the width and the length is 3x minus 5. Using the formula of the perimeter of a rectangle, substitute x in the width and 3x minus 5 in length. So P is 30 equals 2x plus twice of 3x minus 5. 2 times of 3x is 6x. And 2 times of negative 5 is negative 10. 2x and 6x are like terms, so you can add them. The sum is 8x. Isolate the variable and the constants. When you move negative 10 to the other side, it will change the sign and become positive 10. Add the constants. 30 plus 10 is 40. Then divide both sides by the coefficient of the variable, which is 8. 40 divided by 8 equals 5. So x is equal to 5, meaning this is the width. To get the length, substitute 5 in the x of 3x minus 5. 3 times 5 minus 5. Get the product of 3 and 5. The answer is 15. Then minus 5. Therefore, the length of a rectangular frame is 10 inches, while the width is 5 inches. That's the end of this lesson. I hope you learn and use the strategy that we tackled to become better in mathematics and real life. Keep safe, everyone. God bless.
Good day, everyone. My name is Edlin Jane D. Galakdak from BSE 3B. Today, we are solving a word problem using Q-tips. But first, what is Q-tips? Q-tips is a 5-step rule to easily solve word problems, which stands for Q, or the question that is being asked, T, or the thoughts, the operation that we will be using, I, or the important information needed, such as the given or the values, P, or the plan to solve the question, and finally, S, or the solution to apply the plan. Let's have an example. The price of alcohol A is half more than the price of alcohol B. Find the price of both alcohol if the sum of both is 125. By the use of Q-tips, let's analyze the problem. The first step is identifying the question. What is the question that is being asked? The question is the price of alcohol A and alcohol B. The second is thoughts. What are the operations that we will have to use? Since our problem stated that alcohol A is half more than alcohol B, we are going to use addition. And since there are missing values, we are also using division. The third step in Q-tips is important information. So what are the given? The given are, since alcohol A is half more than alcohol B, we can write it as A equals 1/2 x plus x, and B is equals to x. And the sum is 125, or P equals 125. After we write our given, we will come up with a plan. We will think of an equation that we can solve the problem using the given. We will come up with P equals A plus B. By substituting both equation A and B, we will have P is equals to the quantity 1/2 x plus x plus x. Or we can also write this as 125, or the sum, is equals to 1/2 x plus 2x, since x plus x is equals to x. The last is the solution. Our equation is 125 is equals to 1/2 x plus 2x. 1/2 x plus 2x is equals to 2.5 x, or 5/2, or 5 over 2x. And we will divide each side by 5 over 2. Since 5 over 2 is a fraction, we will put over 1 on 125. So we will have 125 over 1 divide 5 over 2. When dividing fraction, we will multiply its reciprocal. So we will have 125 times 2, we will have 250. And 1 times 5 is equal to 5. Then we will have 250 over 5 is equals to x. And 250 over 5 is 50. So we will have 50 is equals to x. Since x is equal to 50, therefore the price of alcohol B is 50 pesos. And substituting 50 to x in A equals 1/2 x plus x, we will get the price of the alcohol A. A equals 1/2 of 50 is 25, plus 50 is equal to 75. The price of alcohol A is 75, and the price of alcohol B is 50. The sum of alcohol A and alcohol B is 125.